Well. Now, y'all ready for a little story time? Yes, baby. Let me share with you how I met my life partner. Because it just so happens I was actively avoiding a relationship at all costs. I had been single for over 13 years and I had no desire at all to have a relationship with anyone, not even a casual one. Yes, I had been single and celibate for well, I'd been single for 13 years and completely celibate for over 5, 6, 7 years. Oh my God, was it 7 years? Yeah, 7 years. But either way, I was not trying to be in any kind of relationship with anyone. Like I said, I actively avoided one. Every time someone hit on me and asked me for my number, baby, I would give them the number to the county morgue. Yes, honey, a whole lot of individuals are walking around this town calling the county morgue trying to get in touch with me. But either way, back to the story. My aunt, one of my aunts, one that I do not communicate with at all anymore because she's a toxic individual, was on plenty of fish. She was almost 50 years old. I was 30. And she was looking for dates. And she is a tiny, small, little petite woman. And she was going out with strangers over the internet. And it upset me. Even though she's toxic and I don't like her in my life, I don't wish any harm upon her. And she had come over and asked me if I would join Plenty of Fish. Just set up a profile that we could go on dates together. And I didn't want to do it. And she begged and she begged and she begged. So I set up a profile. And baby, my account was booming. I was getting messages every day and ignoring them every single day. She would call and say, have you scheduled a date? Let's do a double date with somebody. And I would lie and say, nobody has hit my messages up. Because I didn't want to go on no double date with her or anybody. And then one night, we was all sitting around having a little garden session, and we ran out of garden supplies. So I opened up my POF to have a look at who might be in my messages that, well, might have some gardening supplies. Yes, honey, I'm not going to lie. That's how I found this man. And I ran across this profile of this man who was not from my town. And see, that is one of the requirements with me in order to date me. You must not have been from around where I have been. Because, you know, kissing cousins and all, a lot of us are related down here and we don't even know we're related. So I had a requirement, you must be from out of state, honey, if you want to take me out on a date. And I found an individual who was not born here, he was not from here, and he actually lived all over the world and seemed very cultured. And he said he was a painter. Well, I know something about the construction industry, baby, and I know that most people on the construction site, especially painters, well, they're into gardening too. So I hit him up, honey, in the hopes of meeting somebody who would be into gardening much like me and my auntie. He was a very nice guy. We decided to meet up at a lounge close by where I knew the bartender. And we met there, and I had a plan in mind. I found out he wasn't into gardening. And the plan was to tell him my whole entire life story as we sat at that bar, because my life story should send you running, honey. It is one red flag after another. And that's not even a lie. I'm not a sexual person, so that's a red flag in and of itself. With the PTSD, honey, you'll be lucky if I let you touch me. And that usually sends most men running packing for the hills. But not this guy. He wasn't into physical thrills. So I told him all of my past, how disruptive and dysfunctional my family was, everything, in the hopes that he would never ever want to call me again. It didn't work out that way. No, honey. The truth of my life inspired him to come after me even harder. He couldn't believe how honest and how blunt I was about everything, how I was not ashamed about everything. It blew his mind. He begged for another date. I avoided him. I thought, this man is absolutely crazy. If I told him all the crazy things that I have been through and he still wants to go on a date with me, something ain't right with him, honey. But we do live in a small town. And I started to ask around, and it just so happens that one of the people I went to school with knew exactly who this individual was because, well, he had married her cousin back in the day. Yes, his ex-wife was one of my friend's cousins. I actually knew his children. I had been to a birthday party with him. So I knew a whole lot about him. Real quick, fast, and in a hurry. Everything he didn't want to say, I already knew. And I knew that he was a good man, that he worked hard and he cared about his kids. He took care of his home. All kind of things I learned about him through his cousins and his in-laws. So I gave him another chance. And well, one thing led to another. And no matter how hard I tried to push him away, he just kept showing up wanting to play. So I finally caved on in, honey. Yes, I did. And I don't regret it to this day. He loves me in the most special way. He would do anything for me. Anything. And I do mean anything for me. And he's a good man. He goes to work every day. As a matter of fact, anytime he is off work for more than 2 or 3 days, he starts to lose his damn mind, honey. My whole house gets rearranged. She starts building things that don't need to be built. Just everything, baby. And he would do anything for me. So that is the story of how I was actively avoiding a relationship when in walked Mr. Right, honey. So maybe you should stop looking, baby. I'm telling you, the minute you stop looking for something, it will appear right there in front of your face. Trust me, honey. I walk around this house all the time looking for my glasses and I can't find them. And the minute I sit down, I realize they're on my face. So that's how that works. Thank you for joining me on my little story time.